kind of a gangster epic. It's actually a story of 3 generations of a family of criminals, and it just chronicles their lives through the changing political scenario of Jharkhand, of North India, where the film is set in. These are these gangsters who have never been out of where they are. They have never been out of Wasseypur. For them, the world begins and ends with Wasseypur, which actually, being an outsider, for me, it's just 2 streets. And they have had this war between them for 6 decades. For what, I don't understand. And I find them sometimes very amusing and funny because of the way they are. Because, it's a story that's more accessible, and it's entertaining because there's a lot of humor in it and a lot of music that I've used to cement the film together. And the music is very new sound, very eclectic sound. So it all makes the film kind of very cool in its approach. And I said, I want music that's rooted, that's fresh, yet contemporary. She traveled for 3 years, recording people, singing songs, this, that, everything. For 3 years, she spent time on this film to compose that huge an album. And then she kind of used dubstep, and she used all sorts of modern things to just make it sound so eclectic. It was just incredible. And they're seeing everything for the first time on screen, because the region, the places where we shot in, all kind of virginal locations, they never were part of the film mainstream. So all that newness kind of makes it more commercial and mainstream. I wanted the film to have a lot of scale. So what we did was we kept changing location every scene until it was the house we were shooting in. My favorite part, 2. Outside India, people love 2. I love 2 more. In India, people love 1 because that's the Indian way of filmmaking, Indian way of storytelling, which has family and emotions, and it's more, there's a lot of emotional context to it, and it's a whole lot of saga feel to it. Part 2 is kind of little, in the sense that it focuses on a very short span of things and characters, and is not emotionally manipulative. Indian audiences like films to emotionally manipulate them. I think in India, cinema is changing. Our mainstream is also being redefined. Our films have gotten more real. Even the mainstream, when the mainstream changes, then everything changes. Our films are now being shot on locations. Actors, stars are shooting on locations. They don't shoot only on sets or abroad. Because earlier, all the films were set in other countries and not India. Our films have more India in it now. So that's a big change. Festival has been good because we have had only 1 public screening so far, and it was a very good response. Most of them stayed back for Q&A, and they had a lot to talk, and then they hung around after the Q&A was over. I just want them to laugh their heart out and have fun and be engaged to it and love it, and go and buy tickets and give me enough money so I can keep experimenting with my every next film.